It's that time of the week again. Another week in the championship is over, and it's time to round up everything that happened in Match Week 3. If you want to enjoy the video, drop a like and subscribe as always. Let's round up Match Week 3 of the championship. So we begin on the Friday night where it was Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough hosting Leeds United. Both sides, of course, come off the back of disappointing results previously. Leeds, of course, still unbeaten and got the 2-0 win in this one. But, of course, Sheffield Wednesday got battered 4-0. And in this one, it was, one that we weren't sure which way it was going to go for them because really good performance in the first game, awful in the second game, and no idea what to expect against Leeds. In the end, Leeds really good. I think people are overhyping them a little bit still. They've lost some big players like Ruta, Somerville still, but I have to say Mateo Joseph looks some player. That ball for Dan James to get the second goal, Aronson getting a goal as well, if they can keep hold of him, be really good. But overall, Leeds should score more, and Sheffield Wednesday quite poor in the end. Unlucky not to get a goal before Dan James gets the equaliser, but in the end, Leeds still unbeaten and get their first win of the new season. Bristol City 1, Coventry 1. Bristol City still unbeaten, while Coventry, of course, get a late equaliser thanks to Casey Palmer. What a goal, by the way, from George Tanner for Bristol City on the stroke of half-time to get themselves in front. But in the end, they couldn't hang on. A better result than what they got in the cup game, what was it, a week ago now? But no, Bristol City and Coventry, very even game and a fair result in the end, 1-1. It ended Hull 0, Millwall 0 in their game. Once again, this one quite even. Hull unbeaten, 3 draws from 3, and Millwall finally picking up their first point of the season. In this one, it was the keepers that were on top in this one, but Millwall get the first point. They'll be happy with that now. Somehow scoring 5 in the last 2 games and not getting a single point, but finally they're off the mark. For Hull, just draw happy at the moment. QPR versus Plymouth was a very interesting game. Of course, Plymouth without a win, so were QPR going into the game and remain after this one after it ended 1-1. 3 minutes in, it was 3 with a goal for QPR, and then 29 minutes in, it's a lovely goal from Morgan Whittaker, just snapshot at it and into the corner. What a goal, and feeding off scraps for Plymouth there. But after that, it's where it all changed. A minute after Whittaker's goal in the 28th minute, in 29th minute, Adam Forshaw, really silly tackle, second yellow card, gets sent off. And then Azaka in the 91st minute gets sent off. So Plymouth end the game with 9 men. I thought Hazard was incredible for Plymouth in goal. Really, really good goalkeeping and gets them a point out of this game. While for QPR, I thought Dembele was magic for them and he's going to be a great player. Was good on loan at Blackpool last season. I think he's going to be great for QPR this season as well. In the end, 1-1. Frustrating for QPR. They really should have won it. But as I say, Connor Hazard with the heroics and gets Plymouth a point. Blackburn 2, Oxford 1. Blackburn still unbeaten in the season. It's really harsh on Oxford, this one, of course. They went 1-0 up thanks to Mark Harris's goal, 44 minutes in. What a strike, by the way. It was, wow. Of course, direct football. Long goal kick goes up, chested down. Harris is there, has a strike at it into the corner of the net. It reminds me a lot of John Joe Shelby versus Aston Villa in the Premier League. Just a few years ago, really good finish. But it was really poor defending. In stoppage time at the end of the first half, Ranky Costello gets a goal, and it should never end up that way because Oxford should have had the ball clear long before that's able to get into the back of the net. And then, of course, Arne Sigurdsson with a really good finish, but once again, poor defending from Oxford. They're scoring goals. Harris makes it 3-3 for him, but just defensively, Oxford looking too open at the moment and really poor defending. But, they're certainly going to be very competitive this season. They've shown that in the opening 3 games. It's just they would have definitely liked a few more points than they've already got on the board. And they definitely should have just poor defending, letting them down in key moments. Middlesbrough 2, Pompey 2. It ended at the Riverside. What a game this was. Sadie opening the scoring for Portsmouth just 2 minutes in. Really nice finish in the end. And then 9 minutes later, it's Matthew Clark to get the goal for Middlesbrough from the corner, of course. Good header into the back of the net. But then just moments later, of course, 25th minute, I think it was Clark and Senny Dieng at the back with an awful mess of the ball. Sadie's able to take advantage of the situation and put home, easiest goals of his career. But no, really poor that from Middlesbrough defensively. Carrick wouldn't be too happy about that either. But of course then, towards the end of the game, Borough keep on pushing. A new boy, Tommy Conway, of course, from the penalty spot, makes it 1-1 after Zai Jones is brought down in the area. In this one, probably the fair result. It's 3 draws out of 3 for Portsmouth, still unbeaten in the season. While Middlesbrough, of course, rescue a point late on after a very disappointing result last week against Derby. I think Portsmouth, everyone's underrated them, including myself this season. And so far, unbeaten against the teams they've played, Leeds, Middlesbrough and Luton, one of the hardest starts we've seen in the Championship, and still not had a defeat this season. Very impressive from Portsmouth. For Middlesbrough, though, they'll be very happy they got themselves a point from this one. Norwich won, who haven't won this season. Sheffield United won, who are unbeaten this season, even after this game. Of course, only 3 games in, but this was one where we didn't quite know which way it was going to go. 2 sides who have big power, both financially and on the pitch, in terms of the team and the squads they've got at the moment in the Championship, of course. Norwich go ahead 1-0, 22 minutes in. Really nice goal from Sargent, very clinical finish. But then, of course, 10 minutes later, it's Ollie Arblaster for Sheffield United. Got the captain's armband. A nice finish as well, drilled into the bottom corner and ends 1-1. I do think Sheffield United probably should have won this one. They had the chances, but in the end, Norwich just about do enough to hang on to a point. And yeah, good signs for things to come for both of these sides, but that's 2 without a win now for Sheffield United, and Norwich still chasing their first win in the new season. Of course, it's very early days. Transfer window's still open, but at the moment, both sides able to get a point, and not many teams will be able to get that much away at Carrow Road this season. Preston won, Luton 0, and of course it's Will Keane who scores the goal. Interest from West Brom reported last week, but he remains a Preston man at the moment, and the last time he scored, they won a game. I think it was against West Brom back end of last season. But no, what is happening to Luton? Just cannot score. Of course, they've only scored 1 goal in 3 games now this season. Disappointing from them. They probably should have scored in this one, but Freddie Woodman was really solid between the sticks for Preston North End under Paul Heckingbottom in their first game. Able to get the win in the end, just about. And of course, Preston fans will be very happy. They're finally off the mark, and they finally scored a goal. But for Luton, a lot needs to improve, because I had them down as my title winners for the Championship. And at the moment, they're not playing as champions. Stoke 1, West Brom 2. West Brom continue to win and still unbeaten in this season. The scoring was opened from Lewis Kumas, the man on loan from Liverpool, who opened the scoring for Stoke. Really good finish, of course. And then West Brom able to turn the game around with Carlin Grant scoring, as well as Josh Major still scoring in the Championship, of course. That's 4 in 3 games for him. Really good, of course. However, during the game, we had a lot of chances that were missed. A great goal line clearance from Stoke when it was 2-1, I'm pretty sure. So it really could have, put the game away from Stoke. But great goal line clearance, falls to John Swift, and he completely misses the target. I mean, it's probably harder to miss in that situation. Stoke also had chances with Kumas hitting the post and Manhoof, of course, firing over. And then they hit the post again from Kumas later on in the game. His chances being created, just couldn't put them away, Stoke. So missed opportunity, because West Brom I don't feel were particularly incredible. Just able to do enough in this game to get the win over Stoke and remain undefeated. It ended at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 1, Burnley 0. What a game for Sunderland, of course. One of only 2 sides in the Championship after 3 games to have a 100% record. But Sunderland, the only side in the Championship yet to concede this season, incredibly. Of course, beating Sheffield Wednesday 4-0, Cardiff 2-0, and now Burnley 1-0. Regis Labreeze have got them playing some really nice football. And only 1-0 in the end. Jermaine Mundell scoring a really nice goal. Trying to replace, of course, Jack Clark on that left-hand side. But no, really good defensively as well. Probably should score more in the first half. Second half, they defended well. And Dan Neil gets sent off 85 minutes in. But Sunderland are able to hang on to the game just about. For Burnley, it's been a tricky week. So many players being linked out of the club. So many people leaving the club as well. It was poor on Saturday against Sunderland, and I think they know that. But Sunderland, incredible for them. They will not be complaining as they're top of the league. As we mentioned, Watford then, of course, one of the only 2 sides still with 9 points out of 9 as they beat Derby County. In the end, it was, of course, Derby that went 1-0 up. Ibu Adams with a really nice goal, actually, in this one. Before Bayo, of course, on the turn into the bottom corner. Really nice finish. And then Sissoko is able to get the winner for Watford. I had Watford quite low down in my predictions, already proved me wrong. And to be honest, I think they could have a shout of the top 10 this season. Really good football. Cleverly knows, of course, what he's doing at Watford. And Derby, disappointing for them. but they're in the game and they weren't getting blown away in this one, which is a positive for them. But no, really good game, and Watford still able to get another win on the table, of course. How long can they keep this run going for? And the final game was the Southfields derby. Of course, matchday vlog up on the channel for this one if anyone's interested in checking that one out. It was a really frustrating game. Liam Cullen, 10 minutes in, get the limbs for Swansea. And we really should have scored another one after that one. I don't know how we didn't at 1-0. And the longer that goes on, the longer you get nervous about the game and think, here we go, Cardiff, all they need is one chance. And yeah, they had a chance, and it's really poor from the Swans defensively. We shouldn't be letting Robinson have that much time and space in the penalty area especially. And Timon before should take down Ollie Tanner. But no, in the end, Cardiff get a point, heartbreak. But we've seen it coming and we got punished. In this one, it was really relaxed for a derby. You know, I think like we just thought we were going to steamroll them. Obviously wasn't the case, and we took our foot off the gas way too early. It felt too casual a game after the 15-minute mark, where we just, you know, even the fans just stopped really creating the atmosphere. It did die down for about half an hour, and then after Cardiff equalised, it gets very heated on and off the pitch. And then Swans realise we need to, you know, go forward and try and get a winner, and it's too little too late then, which is really disappointing. In the end, probably have to say it's a fair result. I do think Swans probably had enough to win it, but of course it's the full-time result that matters. Cardiff getting their first point of the season, still remaining bottom though, and the Swans, you know, it's not a bad point, but it is a frustrating one in the circumstances because it's a derby and because we want to win so much. So in the end, disappointing, but Cardiff get their first point, and you know, it's not a loss for the Swans, but it does feel like it because we're in so much control, and to, you know, drop 2 points late on in the game in a derby is frustrating. In match week 3 of the Championship, 25 goals were scored, so significantly less than the last 2 match weeks of the Championship. Goal of the week has to go to Mark Harris of Oxford against Blackburn. That volley was just incredible, from some distance as well. What a goal, and that'll be replayed all season. Early goal of the season contender. I have to also give a shout out to that bio goal for Watford. That was also really good. We had quite a few, but nothing beats it when, you know, a player scoring from that far out for Oxford against Blackburn. Surprise of the week, I've gone for Preston. You know, I thought Heckingbottom will have an impact there, but not straight away. And also we could say surprise of the week were Luton. You know, still 3 games, no win, looking quite dangerous for them. And I wouldn't say he's going to get sacked soon, but, you know, they'd have to get something very soon, because otherwise they're going to go into the international break without a win in the league this season, which would be very disappointing for Luton, given the squad and what they achieved in the last 2 seasons, of course. Manager of the week, I've gone for Regis Labrise of Sunderland, of course, beating what have been the best side in the league this season so far in Burnley, and go 9 points at the top of the table, not conceding the goal as well. Really good. Lost their key man Jack Clark, and still able to have the creativity and score some goals as well, which is really good for Sunderland. Also got to give a shout out to Paul Heckingbottom. Really good, instant impact, and yes, seems very confident for what he can do at Preston North End. Exciting times ahead, hopefully, for Preston. On screen now then is what the Championship table is looking like, and we can see that Sunderland, Watford, Blackburn, West Brom, Leeds, Bristol City, Sheffield United, Portsmouth and Hull are all undefeated after 3 games in the Sky Bet Championship, of course. However, it's very close, and every side now has at least picked up 1 point in the season. There's still quite a few teams yet to win. A lot of teams still yet to draw, of course, but shaping up really good. Of course, we've got 1 more game week before the international break, where we can have a little bit of a breather from the football. Already been so chaotic, but so good as well. On screen now will be how my EFL Fantasy did from game week 1. If you do want the code, then do let me know in the comment section down below. I'll actually put it in the description for you all, so if you want to join the EFL Fantasy, instead of me saying this every week, it'll be in the description down below. So be sure to join the league, completely free to do, and all for good fun, of course. And let me know your scores from EFL Fantasy Match Week 3 in the comment section down below, as well as how you thought your team did in Match Week 3 of the Championship. Well then, guys, hopefully you've all enjoyed the video. If you have, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Once again, 1 more week till the international break. I'll have my predictions out very soon for Match Week 4 of the Championship. And see you soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.